Hi, everyone. This is Kerim with SolarAcademy. I am here today with Kevin Phan of NextWave Energy Monitoring. Kevin, welcome. Good to have you.
Thanks, Kerim. Appreciate
Yeah,
that. Thank you. Thank
we
you for having me.
today we're going to talk a little bit more about NextWave's energy monitoring platform, which we have already done a session on in the past. And today we're going to talk about NextWave's software and hardware architecture and how they have integrated the hardware along with the software to provide a more customer driven solution with some specific advantages that make a big difference in the customer experience over the lifetime of solar and renewable assets. So with that, before we dive into the conversation though, Kevin, I'd like to talk a little bit about your background, your academic background, and how you ended up at NextWave Energy Monitoring doing what you do. And you are responsible for the DevOps at NextWave. So maybe talk a little bit about your role and how that shifted over time, because you've been working with the team at NextWave for several years now.
Yeah, thank you for the question, Kerim. So I first started at NextWave Energy Monitoring as the DevOps engineer. So back in that time, I was in charge of overlook on the network of the DAS, configure the DAS, working with different type of hardware and make sure they run efficiently. Yeah,
The
and
the DAS being the data acquisition system for various different assets that they build.
that's correct. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
including data logger, meter, cell modem, you can name it.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Got
Yeah,
it.
and after that, later on, as I have more knowledge on the hardware side, I also working along with the development team and the customer to make sure we can bring the best value to our customer between the hardware and the software products from Nextway.
And you have an academic background both on the hardware side as well as software, if I remember that correctly, right?
Yes, that's correct. So I first got my bachelor degree in computer science back in 2011 in Vietnam. Back in that day, I want to learn a lot on how to build a good software, how to scale it, how to make it run reliably. And later on, with that, I got another degree in computer engineering, which is more on the hardware side, more on the firmware, how to program those PCB board, making them working together with the software.
And then you ended up at, I guess, Phoenix Renewable Services, which is a developer of mostly CNI and utility scale solar and renewable assets. And through that experience, you've joined the NextWave team as they innovated this product for their own needs as well as their customers' needs, I assume, right?
Yeah, that's correct. The time with Phoenix Renewable Services allow me to gain more knowledge on what is the good service for the solar O&M system, or usually what is the common issue that the O&M team need to work on in order to keep the system running efficiently.
Mhm.
Yeah, and bring that knowledge into Nextway is a very good foundation for me in order to have Nextway team to establish their product or set up a good pipeline for the product to work well. Yeah.
So let's talk a little bit about that product evolution of this energy monitoring platform. So maybe to tell us a little bit of the early days, how it started and how it evolved over time.
Yeah, so on the early day, we do have our data logger and
Hmm.
our software. And back in that day, the integration is something that could be very challenging since you have the software from, let's say, the customer they might get the software from one vendor, but they might get the hardware from another vendor. So we see that it's very important to somehow the integration need to be allow to put the hardware and the software together and running smoothly. And at NextWay, we know that integration is something we must achieve. It's not just a buzzword, it's our DNA. And when the software, we know that when the software and the hardware are designed well together, then every sensor, every line of the code, and every dashboard, it feels just like one living system. So it's not like a
Yeah,
different piece, yeah, but yeah,
got
working
it.
together.
Tell me a little bit about, like, I'm familiar enough with the inverters and their software platforms that they provide to mostly homeowners and consumers for their own monitoring needs. So when we're talking about industrial scale CNI applications, utility scale applications, data loggers, extra software, all the little signals you need to measure, like how much more complicated is that than what you would get as a consumer with a standard inverter, and why the need to create another hardware and software bundled together solution for monitoring?
Yeah, so we see that like there's a frustration for a lot of our customer or the access manager. They
Mm-hmm.
usually deal with, they say, they have like 10 different vendor, 10 different portal, and
Mm-hmm.
all of those, even though they have the software, they have the hardware inside in their hand, but none of them
Right.
give them a good clarity on that.
Yeah. So you essentially need a meta layer that combines the signals from all the various different inverter vendor manufacturers, panel, other sorts of data outputting equipment, let's say, to create one easy to consume dashboard. On that note, perhaps I should pull up some of your screenshots, product screenshots that you've shared with me prior. So I'm assuming a view like this is what you're talking about. A product like yours can provide. And I'm gonna share my screen here quickly. So this would be data that is coming from multiple different hardware providers being pulled into one view where you can monitor various different signals on one or multiple assets. Is that a fair way
Yeah,
to
yeah.
describe it?
Yeah, so what you're looking is the portfolio dashboard where it pulling for hundreds of different portfolio, and it's
Mm-hmm.
just in a snap you can see on the calculation there on the
Mm-hmm.
performance metric, and that just give the asset manager or the site owner they know instantly know how the site perform and without that into each of the single site.
Yeah.
And we build the unified stack from our edge gateway that
Yep.
can run and constantly pull the data and put it on the way up to our cloud services.
Mm-hmm.
And it could, the way we design it, it could handle like thousands of devices simultaneously.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
and
and also you can geographically show like which of the assets need critical attention or some attention in terms of performance improvement opportunities. Is that what this view is, for example, that we're looking at?
yes, correct. And what you look in here is the map view where our customer they can quickly see all of their assets in the just one view, one map
Hmm.
geographically. Yeah.
Yeah, thanks for sharing all that. So I guess let's talk about why so important to integrate the hardware and the software experience in doing
Okay.
what you do.
Yeah, and you know, like because the separation create friction, right? When your data logger speak one language and software speak another language, and the
Hmm.
user got a lot of issue with that.
Hmm.
So for NextWave, we design our white label locker to integrate directly with our ingestion pipeline. The
Hmm.
software on the software side, it can handle a lot of data point in real time, multi-million data point in real time. And
Hmm.
is it the pilot we build is not built for speed, but it also built for harmony. Yeah.
I guess we're talking about these pieces of hardware. Yep.
Yes, right there. Yeah.
And
So we not
mhm.
only pick the hardware that run well, but we ensure that it run with reliability and
Yeah.
scalability.
So and this is all, I guess this innovation of combining these that were a customer-driven innovation based on demands from existing customers of Phoenix and NextWave afterwards. Is that a fair assumption?
Yes, yes, correct. Yeah. And for next way, anything we build, we all make sure that it met with the customer need or it solve a real problem for the customer. We don't just go ahead and build a dashboard that show a bunch of data, but everything we put on the dashboard is all come from a customer pain point.
I do remember from our previous conversations that one of the largest big box retailers being a customer of yours, I think was the responsible or the customer that demanded that the ability to watch all their assets simultaneously and be able to prioritize. And I guess as a result of that, you came up with some of the alert management and dashboard features that that are present in the product. Is that I think that's a great example of a customer-driven innovation came out of the NextWave team. And maybe there's another example we can talk about of another customer-driven innovation. Second example, can you tell us a little bit about that approach of like how everything you do is customer-driven and to solve a specific customer pain point?
Yeah. So one of our big O&M team, they share with us like they spend hours every day to chasing the false alarm. And when they share that, it's just like a light bulb moment for us. And after hour sitting down with the customer, having the conversation, we just want to try to understand what is the real pain point that they are facing with.
Yeah.
And after talking with them, we realize that they don't need like a long list of alerts, but they need a right way to see the alert and understand which one is more critical, which one need to be prioritized. Imagine like you
Yeah.
have 200 sites. Every day you go to the office and you see like 1,000 of alert. Now you
Yeah.
might ask like, oh, how can I solve that 1,000 of alert in just
Right.
1 week or 1 month? So it's not that the customer need a dashboard, but the insight they need is they need to know which one is worth to tackle, which one is worth to fix. Yeah, rather than go out and try to fix just whatever you have on your alert list.
I get that. And hence this alert management screen you designed for your customers. Makes a lot of
Yeah.
sense. What's another example that we can talk about?
Another example that we have is we also have another O&M team customer reach out to us and say that our field technician they have very limited time to configure the DAS because they need to follow up with a lot of tasks on the construction side. And
Mm-hmm.
if they have 100 sites like that, they cannot just spend a lot of time to configure that on site. That would be their nightmare. And they try to
I
avoid
see.
that at all costs.
So they
So
don't want their technicians out in the field working on configuring your data acquisition system. They just want them to do all the other construction related work. And they tell you that it's taking too much time. And you
correct.
guys then innovated something for them. What was that?
Yes, that's correct. So after we understand the pain point from that customer, we need a right
Mhm.
way to limit the time of commission on the field on the site. And understand that we change the game from there. So from that, every gateway that leave from our lab we always make sure that it is pre-configured. We simulate the device that we don't have in the lab to simulate the signal and make sure on the DAS, on equipment is configured and working properly with the software, with the cloud before we ship out to the customer. And the moment they put in, it's just plug and play. They plug it in, they see the data instantly on NextWave.
Yeah, that's great. That's like buying a new laptop without having to configure it. That's that is
That's
a
true.
great experience, I'm sure. Great. Well, as we near I mean, I guess there's also some architectural benefits to what you do from a reliability and scalability perspective. Maybe we can talk a little bit about that and how you guys designed, especially the backend part of the product to serve your customers better for reliability and scalability.
Yeah. So for our architecture, we understand that keeping the system running reliably and efficiently is a challenge, and we want to make sure that all of our customers are happy with the data that they receive, all the insight. So the way we design it is we have the load balancer on our data ingestion. And this is a common miss for a lot of the other competitor that I can see. Because when you have a certain amount of device that constantly talking to your server, the server not automatically can handle a big load. So it need to be designed properly in order to handle that. And at NextWave, we simulate the scenario where we're gonna have a million devices talking simultaneously to the server, and we test that and we make sure our data ingestion layer it's designed well and it's designed properly so that it's not gonna fail in those case. And it will ensure for us even when we scale to million device or 2 million or 3 million device.
Got it. Got it. Sounds like you guys have been, quite successful innovating from a very customer-driven perspective, a well-integrated hardware, software solution that serves customer needs. As you go forward, can you tell us a little bit about what you see in the future for NextWave in terms of products and how that will keep up with the high quality of high standards that you have achieved on integration, responsiveness to customers, reliability? Tell us a little bit about that vision of the company.
Yeah, so for the vision, first we will keep explore and make sure our design, our system is running reliably and make sure we can scale up well. From what I see, machine learning and AI is a big topic that everyone is up for. In here, next way, we will make sure if we use the solution, it needs to serve or solve a real pain point for our customer because above anything, one thing doesn't change is we want to remain the empathy for our customer. So anything we design, we always make sure that this is something that our customer looking for. This is a real issue that the team need to tackle, need to solve for our customer.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Well, I think designing products and solutions with empathy for customers' pain points is a very good formula for success in business, and sounds like you guys are doing a great job at it. Thank you for sharing the insight into NextWave as you did, Kevin. Thank you very much for this time.
Thank you, Kerim. Thank you so much.